and found out that it is what is called a dazzler, razzle dazzle, or eye dazzler. And the Navajos made these kind of as a fun thing, because so much in all of our lives is very black and white, very firm. But you look at these things and it's almost like one of those winter days when it's fresh snow and you look out and everything is shimmering. You can't quite pull it into focus. So this is a razzle dazzle. Now, it has been explained to me by several Navajo weavers that what we call design or ornamentation is in fact to them a shorthand for many of their religious beliefs. And so the fundamental to many of the Navajo blankets is their creation story, that they emerged from a hole in the ground and they were given by the gods a wonderful place. We would probably interject, oh, their Garden of Eden. And so this wonderful place was marked by 4 sacred mountains. One in Colorado, one in New Mexico, one in Arizona, one in Utah. And the land that they had is usually depicted as a square or a rectangle, but something that is 4-sided. And they call themselves the Dene, and their ancestral homeland is the Deneta. And so here is illustrated the 4 sacred mountains and their Deneta. But you notice that the borders, because it is a razzle-dazzle, the borders are not firm, but they're shimmering, which is kind of nice. Now, superimposed on that creation story is also their belief that all physical reality has 2 parts. The one that we see here when we go hunting and fishing and live our lives, and one that is completely equal, but opposite in the other world, such that if you are looking at your reflection in a lake, in a body of water, and reach forward with your right arm, this the opposite person in the water leans forward and reaches back with their left arm. So to show this ambiguity in this rug, all you have to do is say, this is the physical reality, but look what happens when it meets the equal and opposite other world. If you fold it over, you have the equal, but the opposite. And here are the 4 mountains and the Deneta. So it's not just decoration at all, but it in fact is a metaphor for their creation. One of the things I like about this rug is it is so tribal and loose that in fact the weaver had the capability of drawing a line and making this an exact mirror image. But do you see this distance is different than this? They have it off center and purposely, just to kind of play with your mind to say, I know what's going on here. Equal and opposite reflection. And so the write-up that goes with this rug is as follows. This rug pattern is a metaphor for the relationship between the spirit world and the physical world. When the rug is rolled over vertically, the double diamond motif, there and here, is formed by the 2 lateral half diamonds. Mirror image reflection is part of the system of balanced dualities and controlled ambiguities that assert a worldview which has 2 equal but opposite components. So this is almost like a Rosetta Stone to the religious belief. It's not just a pattern. It is a wonderful rug. The white is natural churro wool, and the weave is very heavy because the yarn is thick. So rug experts talk about the number of lines per inch. If the yarn is thin, it's almost like a textile. But this, in fact, is made to be a rug, not a blanket. It is a very thick, heavy woven rug. The brown is probably a natural color. Black is always enhanced because black wool always has a little bit of gray in it. And so they will dye that over. The red is probably an aniline dye. The other cute thing about this is that the central motif is off center as well. And the weaver had every capability of measuring and putting it exactly in the middle if she wanted, but that was not her wish. Typical of most Navajo rugs, it has a whip stitch along the edge rather than a selvage. And the selvage is at both ends. So what a lovely piece, probably woven in the 1950s, certainly post-World War II. But if we add that up, 50 years plus 20, it's 70 years, certainly an antique.